I think the most important element that I take away from the video is, um, okay, there's kind of two, but first off, I think that the one of the first main thing, the element that I took away from the video, is that we don't have to see preachers as the ones who are healing us, because they are just they're like a catalyst. The energy passes through them. It's not that they themselves are the ones doing the healing. And I thought that was a really important distinction to make, so that we're not idolizing these healing pastors or evangelists, but so that we're actually, you know, so that we're actually giving the glory to God rather than to man, because I think it can be very easy to fall into a false idol, especially when there's people walking in that much communion with God, and walking and dealing with that much power of God, in their everyday life. It can be very easy to confuse that and be they're the ones that did the healings, instead of being it's God who did it through them. The second one that I thought was important was how there's a difference between sympathy and compassion. I thought that was really significant, because in my own life, I have had moments where I gave people my sympathy, and it seemed to just make them go more downhill. And I realize now that's because I was, if it was my fault, my part to play in that part of it was that I made their pain feel more validated, and so that when they were hurting and they came to me, I made them feel like they were just in feeling hurt, and so they continued to feel that hurt even more intensely. And so something I'll implement in my own personal life after watching the video is I want to pray for more compassion, and I really want to practice having compassion, authentic compassion, like Jesus had for the multitudes, and like he had for the sick, for the woman who touched his garment, all of those stories of how he had compassion for them, not just sympathy but compassion, and that's what I want to have for the people in my life. I want to have genuine desire to rid them of the things which tied them down. And I know I can't do that in my own power, but if I can lead them to the one who can do that for them, then that would be a great goal for me. And so that's something I want to do, just by being more compassionate. And so I think the sickness that Oral Roberts talked about in the video that surprised me, they didn't really surprise me as much as they just really stuck with me. And there were two of them. One was the woman who was tugging at his coat and just refused to leave, and followed him, and refused to leave until he touched her, and prayed for her and told her to be healed. And how she was just so persistent, and even though he was in his flesh, even though he was being angry and worn out and tired and short fused, he touched her, and God worked through him to heal the woman. And so like I thought that was really cool. And then there was also the other another example he gave, which was of the boy and how he almost walked past the boy. In fact, he did walk past the boy, but then something told him to go back, um, and so he went back and talked to the boy, and the boy um, said he was there to see Oral Robertson be healed, and that he was supposed to be healed today, or that day, um, and so um, I thought it was interesting how Oral Roberts was like talking like, you know, the meeting's already over, it's like, and stuff like that. But the boy was just persistent, like, I'm supposed to be getting healed today. Today is my day. This is the day that I'm going to be healed. Um, and I thought that was really inspiring as well, because it was just further proof to me of the fact that it's not Oral Roberts who is doing these things, but it's God through him. And the fact that it's God is so much more um, like enriching to my life, than than um, than uh, than it is to just have a person healing a person. Um, so um, so the gifts of healing, according to the Bible and Oral Roberts' experience, they basically work to they work off the basis of, from my understanding, they work off the basis of typically like a gift of faith, a word of knowledge, um, something like that. Like those sort of things will play in, and and so when when but especially a gift of faith, like God will give the person who is needing to be healed and the person who is doing the healing a gift of faith in order to get them to flow in the Spirit, and He will like put His grace upon them to help them to reach the place in their heart that they need to reach and that they want to reach, and so yeah, I guess that's it. So thank you.